Welcome, everybody. Glad that you could make it to our webinar-styled training today. I'm going to wait just a couple of minutes and let a few more people log in, and then we will get started presently. While we're waiting for them, if somebody could type into the chat box if you can hear me, make sure that the audio is okay. Anybody? Can you? Now I'm worried that you can't hear me. There's a chat box should be to the right of the screen. And there's a place as well to do questions. Can somebody type in that you can hear me? All right, well, we're going to go ahead and continue because we've got a lot to cover. And I want to make sure that we allow plenty of time for your questions at the end. If you have specific questions, then I definitely want to be able to take the time to answer them if we can, depending on the time. I'm going to make our portal full screen here. This is the MyTSI portal for Transworld Systems. If this does not look like the portal that you've been using, then you're probably using our old portal, which you find on the web browser at service.transworldsystems.com. If that's the case, don't worry, I can show you how to get onto the new portal. You'll find a lot of the things are very, very much the same as they were in the old portal. But there are some more items in here that make the portal a little bit more robust. I can teach you how to get onto the new portal and kind of leave the old technology behind. So this is what it looks like when you log into MyTSI. Instead of having the old black menu bar across the top, it now has a menu bar down the side. If you've been on MyTSI and you never see this menu, that may be because it's hidden. If it's hidden, all you have to do is go to the three lines here, and it maybe looks like this. If you click it again, it will show you your menu. For me, I never remember what the little icons mean, so I always like to leave the menu open. First thing that we're going to do is kind of take a look at your dashboard, your main page. When you log into MyTSI, you're going to be on your dashboard page. Right here at the top are just some graphs that have to do with how we've gone so far with you. The first line over here is the cost that you've spent on accounts for the fixed fee system. This is return on investment. So this is the amount that was collected in Accelerator, Profit Recovery, and Collections. And this is the net back. So this is the most important one. This is the money that you got back into your account. As far as assigned versus recoveries, that's in the graph over here. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can take a look at that yourself at some point. It does show you your return on investment as a percentage. It does show you your cost to collect as a percentage. Moving down the page, it gets to your account summary. Some of you may be using Accelerator, some may not. I highly recommend it. If you're not using Accelerator, we need to talk about that because especially now during the COVID-19 quarantines, you may not have a full staff in your office. Hopefully we'll be getting back to some sort of normal fairly soon. But if you don't, your billing can go on and Transworld Systems can actually do your first party follow-up for you, even if it's on a temporary basis, while you don't have full staff in the office. An Accelerator is a series of contacts in the name of your practice or your business. This column shows if there are any alerts that have come to you. We'll get onto that in a minute, but it just lets you know that there are alerts. And if you click on the little red thing there, it will show you the exact alerts. Everybody who's using Accelerator and Profit Recovery has two different client numbers. There's an Accelerator client number and then a client number for Profit Recovery and Collections. So that if anybody ever asks you, or if I ever ask you what your client number is, that's where you can look to make sure. Number of accounts that you have assigned to us in each of the categories, dollar amount that's been assigned, dollars resolved, recovery rate, and this is just a demo site that we're looking at, and the average age of accounts when they were placed in either Accelerator or Profit Recovery. If you go down a little bit further to the support center, you'll know that I always recommend that you do not use the support center. You rather contact me. If you have used the support center and you're comfortable with it, please feel free to do so. If not, and you have a question or you have a problem, just contact me directly and I'm more than happy to help you out. If you have questions as we go along, you can type them into the question box and we will address those later in the interest of just moving along. But if you have any questions, I will try and address every question while we're on the webinar. And if not, I will address it personally with you, either by email or by a phone call. If you go a little bit further, it shows you your alerts. And there are a whole series of alerts that can be sent to you. Let me go right here and do that. Keep clicking on the wrong screen and it's not showing it to you. Okay. Well, if we get any bankruptcy notifications, accounts that are ready to transfer, when the transfers have happened, any error notifications in uploads, if we get a new address on someone, we will send you a new update on their address so that you can put it into your software. The ones that you really need to pay a whole lot of attention to are disputes and direct payments. The alerts that show here are just accounts that are ready for transfer. Most of you don't have to do anything with those. Those will actually show up on their own, or they'll transfer on their own, unless you've specifically had us set it up so that they don't. If you see an alert that has to do with a dispute, if you click on the subject, it will open a dispute letter and it will tell you the information that we need to get back from you as backup before we can restart collections. Right here is a button that allows you to upload those documents directly to us. You have 20 days to respond to a dispute or a direct payment monitor. The direct payment monitor simply is if our collector calls someone on your behalf and they say, oh, well, I went ahead and paid that direct to them last week. We're not going to take their word for it. We're going to actually check with you. And that's going to be what that direct payment alert is. We're asking, did John Smith pay you so many dollars last week? And you tell us, yes, he did, or no, he didn't. And then that determines how we continue with collections. So that's your dashboard. Now, just a reminder, many of you are using interfaces. Some are using our Smart Collect interface, our Dental Collect interface. Some are using some that are specific to your software. Not everything that I'm going to show you during this time will apply to your specific case. So please pay attention, and I will try and help you along to realize what you need to focus on and what you don't need to focus on. I'm also going to be doing another webinar on our Smart Collect interface, which handles 99% of our dental clients, our veterinary clients, and some of our regular business clients. And I'm going to do a separate webinar. If you're one of those that are using that, I will contact you specifically about that webinar. If you have a portal, or if you have an interface, that is what is used to submit accounts to Transworld Systems. That is what is used to report payments to Transworld Systems. Once an account has come to Transworld through your interface, then it appears on our portal and not until. So this is where you want to go in order to find accounts that are currently being handled by Transworld Systems. And if you have an account that is on Transworld, but you're not exactly sure where in our system it is, you can use this second item on your menu here that we call Account Search. If you go to the Account Search, it will list every account that's with Transworld Systems currently in all three phases: accelerator, profit recovery, and collections. If you know the guarantor or the customer's first name or last name or first name, you can search by that name. You can also search by the reference number, which is often your account number for that person. You can also search by your client account number in the case of you having multiple accounts with Transworld systems. Once you search, it will bring up just the people who match that. So let's search. I happen to know there's a client in here whose last name is Abel. So let's search that. And it shows this. This is all for Mark Abel. He was in Accelerator and completed service. What that means is Mark was placed into Accelerator on the assigned date. He got the 5 contacts in Accelerator and did not pay the bill. And so he completed the Accelerator service, which means he then would go on to Profit Recovery. He began Profit Recovery on October the 11th. He also shows completed service with Profit Recovery. And then he was placed into collections. And right now his collection efforts are continuing. So Mark is an active account. Mark is currently in the collections phase. Hopefully that's helpful. And then you can determine what you want to do from there. If you are then looking for more information on Mark, you can go to collections and search for Mark Abel, and it will tell you more information. For those of you who are using Accelerator, and this is very similar, Profit Recovery is almost exactly the same way as is collections. If you are not using an interface, if you are not, let me repeat that. If you are not using an interface, this is where you would go to submit a new account into Accelerator. And by clicking Submit Account, it's just going to give you blanks to fill in, and you work your way through this. It will do a rudimentary error check on it. And at the end, it'll give you the opportunity to just submit it to Transworld, assuming that all of the required fields have been entered. Once you do, the account is active with Transworld systems within 24 to 48 hours. The first demand or the first letter will go out. If you have a lot of accounts, and we've already talked about uploading accounts, you can do that through the Upload Accounts tab. And I don't know why, but it's opening another screen. So we can't look at that. But uploading accounts is from here as well. The transfer queue, view accounts. If you have an account in Accelerator, it'll be listed right here. And it will give you the information that we have on the person. If you want to see the exact information and what we've done, you can go to this action column. Let me show you that again. It's out at the end here of that person. Any information that was entered to us would be here. Any payments that they've made would be here. Notes shows everything that's happened with Transworld systems for that person so far. So when you first put them into Accelerator or Profit Recovery, they go through a series of screenings. They're declared ready for the contact series. They're sent to the printer, and contact 1 went out on September the 30th at 12:55 a.m. Contact 2, contact 3, contact 4, all the way through. If you want to see the exact letters that they received, you can go here. There isn't any on the demo site because they're not real clients, but all the individual letters will be here that you can download and see exactly what they saw. If they're a current record in Accelerator or in Profit Recovery, when you look here, there will also be another action button here, and that's to edit any information that you have on the person. If you are not using an interface, and only if you are not using an interface, you can use that other button to post a payment to the person. And I don't have that here, but you can look and see it's very self-explanatory. There will be more than one action button, and you can go ahead and do that at the time, because you'll need to post. If you're on an interface, the payments are posted through the interface. If you are not, they need to be posted through the portal. The transfer queue will show you any accounts that are ready to be transferred out of Accelerator. So they go through the 30 days worth of Accelerator, or how many days it was originally set up in. They get the 5 contacts, and then they go into a pending queue. You will get an alert when they go into the pending queue. That's an account pending transfer. And then depending on how your system is set up, they will either automatically transfer or they would require you to transfer them. The drop date right here will show you the date that they will move on into the next phase. If you want to cancel the transfer and don't want them to go any further, you can check the button by their name. And then down here is a cancel transfer to profit recovery. Or if you decide, I want to send them right away, I don't want to wait the 7 days of the pending queue or the 14 days of the pending queue, you can go here and just check the box next to their name and go down to immediate transfer to profit recovery. They will be immediately transferred if you do that. So that's transfer queue. That is also to be found on your dashboard a couple of different places. It'll be here under alerts where it says pending transfer. It'll also be way up here under transfer alerts. So we give you a lot of ways to know if you have any accounts that are pending transfer. But in most cases, they're not going to require a whole lot of your attention. Profit recovery, I'm sorry, we forgot the reports. Under Accelerator are reports. There's a number of different reports that you can print just for Accelerator. Performance report is a financial report. Excuse me. You can do it from the beginning of our relationship, or you can do it by a date range. Activity report is a detailed report that shows all the calls that we've made to that person in Accelerator or Profit Recovery. And there are a number of other reports that you can take a look at your leisure. Profit Recovery has the same items that Accelerator does, so I won't go through those in detail, but you can submit accounts only if you don't have an interface. You can upload accounts only if you don't have an interface. And you can view accounts, but don't edit accounts here if you have an interface, because you'll do that through the interface. There is a transfer queue here and the same list of reports that you would find under Accelerator. Under collections, almost exactly the same. You can submit accounts only if you don't have an interface. You can upload accounts under the same conditions. You can view accounts and you get reports. Power View, most of you will not use Power View. It has to do with a master account that has multiple sub-accounts and you can look at them all in one place. Invoices. Under Invoices, you have View Invoices or Auto Pay. For View Invoices, you have your choice between collection invoices or Accelerator and Profit Recovery invoices. Let's talk about Accelerator and Profit Recovery invoices first. Most of you are on a prepaid program where you buy so many accounts from Transworld Systems that are good for 2 years. The invoices that will show up under this tab are the invoices that you had each time that you reordered or ordered more accounts. If you are on a pay-as-used basis, which is only for our largest clients, every month you will see an invoice here for the number of accounts that you used the previous month. Those are set up on auto pay, either through ACH or through credit card. You don't need to pay the individual invoices here, but it is there for your information. For those of you that have multiple sub-accounts, it will also show you which sub-accounts used how many accounts on each month's invoice. Collection invoices will come out any month when there is activity on the collections program, whether a collection account paid us like they're supposed to, or a collection account paid you. Shame, shame, shame. I always tell everybody, if somebody in collections comes in with a check, accept it. Don't turn money away. But they're actually supposed to pay us. Why they sometimes don't want to deal with us as a collection agency, I have no idea. We're very nice people, but sometimes they will pay you anyway. If they pay us, we will send you a check the first of the next month or the first few days of the next month, along with the collections invoice. By email, you will get a summary invoice as an alert, just saying this, your statement is ready, and it'll show you just the total dollars, either that we owe you and that is coming in a check, or that you owe us. The reason you would owe us money is if somebody in collections paid you directly, then we will bill you for our percentage for the collections phase. All of those will be lumped together for the month, and they will net out, and either you will wind up owing us money or we will wind up owing you money. So if you look at the collection, when you get the summary invoice, you're not going to be able to tell exactly which patients paid, which patients didn't, who they paid it to, or how much. If you look at the collections invoices, you will see the summary at the top, and then there will be a line for each month's invoice. And you can go out to the right. I don't have any to show you here, but you can go out to the right and there's a place to view it, get it in a PDF, or export it into a comma delimited file so that you can look at it in Microsoft Excel. Typically, you want to either view it or get a PDF file of it. That's going to show you the total breakdown of each patient that paid, whether they paid us or whether they paid you, so that you can go ahead and apply those to the patient or the customer's account. So make sure that every month you're coming here to the collections invoices and checking those so that you don't get any accounts that are off. Auto pay, simply for the people who are on the pay as used basis. This only applies to Accelerator and Profit Recovery, our fixed fee options. And it will show you, you'll have an auto pay profile there, which will allow you to update your credit card or whatever. Occasionally you may get an alert from us saying your credit card is about to expire. We need you to update your credit card, and that's where you would do it, under View Invoices. The scheduled reports, you have the opportunity to create some reports that will be automatically sent to you. You can play with that. To be honest with you, I don't know anybody who's using it. Maybe you are and I don't know, but you can go play around with that if you'd like to create a report that is sent to you every month. Saved reports, when it's sent to you, it's saved here as well. So this will show you how the reports are put together and when they come and all that kind of stuff. This will show you the actual reports here. Just a couple of things that we've got left, actually. All the way over to the right, you've got any alerts that are pending. You've got the transfer queue, the transfer alerts that are over here. And then you should see your name here under, instead of demo user. If you click on there, there are a few things. Our privacy policy, you may not want to read it. Help, there is a help file in PDF format that you can actually download right now. It's more or less a user's guide. There will be training videos on this entire portal coming soon, but you can always refer back to the recording of this webinar, or as usual, you can always call me if you need to. If you want to call me, go down to Contact Us, and it's going to show you my name, my telephone number, and my email address. It'll also give you a number for the client care team. I prefer to deal with you directly, but if you can't get a hold of me for some reason, you can certainly call the client support team, the client care team. They will help you out. Preferences. This has to do with housekeeping, basically. If you change your personal email address, you can change it here with Transworld Systems. System notification is on. The reporting system notification is on. You want that on. Under here, manage settings per client. So for Profit Recovery, you can actually edit the contact information specifically for you. This will be the main client number contact information. If you want to put specific contact information in for you, like a direct phone number or whatever, you can do that here. Manage users. Certain people at your firm or practice are listed as users. You can take a look at who's there. If you want to add a new user, you can do that here. You can change the settings. You can get information on the account, all here. Down a little bit below, you can set your alert preferences. This is what I was looking for before, that shows all of the alerts that will come to you. If you, for some reason, don't want to see the ones that are that have transferred successfully, or you don't want to see the ones that are pending transfer, or whatever. If you're the wrong person to get the new address for them, you can turn individual ones off. I suggest you leave them all on. It can't hurt. And I know you probably get a ton of email, but it's a good idea to get the alerts and be aware of them at all as well. Daily email summary, this is set to on. Leave it on, because instead of getting a separate email for each one of these, you'll get up to one email per day that lists all of the alerts for that day. Collection preferences, invoice notification preferences. If you're not the right person to get the notification that your invoice is on the portal, you can turn that one off. If you wanted to go to somebody else, like your accounts payable department, you can actually put the accounts payable address in there, email address in there, leave that turned on, and it'll go there instead. If you, for some reason, don't want your client name to appear as the way you have it, you can change it. I don't know why anybody would do that. And I believe that pretty well covers all of the new MyTSI portal. If you are still on the old portal, all you need to do is go to mytsico.com, my.tsico.com. It'll take you to a login screen. You log in with the same username. If you've never logged into MyTSI before, you would use the same username and password that you use for the old portal, and it will immediately take you to a place to reset your password. And there are some criteria for the password that needs to go in. You create your new password, and then boom, like magic, you're on MyTSI, and you use this one forever from now on. Amen. If you have logged in here to look around, but you didn't really know what you were doing, and then you went back and you've been using the old portal and you don't remember what your password was that you set it to, you can always go to mytsico.com and do lost password and reset your password. And then I highly recommend continuing to use MyTSI for the future, because the old portal will eventually be sunset and you won't be able to get into it anymore. It's good to have played around in here and know what you're doing before you absolutely have to. So you can go back and forth for a while if you want to, but I highly recommend. I've been using the MyTSI portal ever since they introduced it over a year ago, I believe. And I really, really like it. Once you get used to it, it's a little bit different, but once you get used to it, I think you'll really like it as well. Okay, I am going to take a look real quick at the question, if I can get it to open. The question box. And hold on one second. Let me try something. I'm not getting chat to open. All right. Oh, I see here. There we go. There I am. And then let me go back to the chat box and the question box. Are there any questions? You can either put them into the chat, or you can type them into the open questions. I hope that helps. I hope that you feel a little bit more comfortable with the MyTSI portal. If you have any specific questions, it may be a question that somebody else has as well and just doesn't think to ask. So I'm going to give you just a couple of minutes. If you've got any, chat them into the chat box or type them into the questions, and let's take care of it when everybody can benefit from the answer. If not, I got to believe I did a really, really good job, and that you totally understand this and that you're going to use it from now on, and everybody will be happy. Anything at all. If not, let me say this. I hope you're well. I hope you're staying safe and doing what you have to do to keep yourself from getting this COVID-19 virus. I'm still sheltering in place at home. Those of you who know me know I don't generally have a full beard, but I stopped shaving when we started quarantining in place, just to kind of mark the event. And I desperately need a haircut as well. I will be available to you. I'm still working every day. Look forward to speaking with you, but I'm going to go ahead then with no questions. I got to believe you all aced this. I'll say thank you and look forward to my announcement for the webinar that we're going to do to train on the Smart Collect interface. Thanks. Stay safe, be well, and have a great day.